Our next question is quite simple. Why do you want to be a judge, or in one case, continue to be a judge? And Mr. Gilman, you would be up first, I think.
I want to be a judge because I enjoy public service. Most of my career has been in public service, first as a law clerk for Judge Chaputic, then as a solicitor for the Board of Commissioners, then as the attorney for the Domestic Relations Office of the court, and now as a master and hearing officer for the Court of Common Pleas, of Allegheny County for the last 11 years. I enjoy public service very much. I think in public service you get to affect more people, have a greater impact upon more people's lives, and to me that's very gratifying. I also want to be a judge because I enjoy the type of job I have right now, sitting in judgment. And being a judge, I think, will allow me to have an even more broad spectrum impact upon making my county and my community a better place. Thank you.
It's a little unusual question because I actually, as all of you know, I am a judge right now. I truly love what I do because I love the courtroom. I love all aspects of the courtroom. There's a comfort factor for me when I walk into a courtroom. When I was a prosecutor, when I was in private practice, walking into a courtroom for me is like most people walking into their living room. As to what I do now, I enjoy applying what I've learned as a lawyer, both as a prosecutor and as a private practitioner. I enjoy applying that sense of balance to the litigants that come in front of me. I enjoy making the courtroom accessible to people, whether they have a lawyer or whether they don't. The key is to make people feel comfortable in the courtroom because, after all, it's their courtroom. My name might be on the door, but that courtroom belongs to the public. And they should feel that they have access to that courtroom. They shouldn't feel intimidated to walk into a courtroom. I try to create somewhat of a stress-free zone in my courtroom because the last thing a litigant or a lawyer should have to worry about is what kind of a mood is the judge in today. I try to treat everybody with the dignity and respect that they deserve, and that's why I love what I do, because I truly feel that I'm making a difference. And I want that person, when they leave that courtroom, to feel as though they got a fair shake. They may not agree with my decision, but at least they'll understand that they got a fair shake and feel that they had an opportunity to speak. And sometimes that's all people want, is an opportunity to speak, not necessarily worried about the ultimate decision. Thanks.
As I understand it, the question was, why do you want to be a judge? I think all of us will tell you the same thing, that we love public service, that it's gratifying to us, and so we invest our time and our money in running for this job. But I think the better question is, why do you think you'd be a better judge than the other candidates? If you don't think that, you won't be running. I believe this being a judge is a very important role in our society, one that has to be met with something not akin to on-the-job training. And when you have someone who hasn't resided in Washington their entire life, who doesn't have a long length of experience in trial practice, who doesn't have a lot of cases, they don't have the requisite experience for a position like this. Keep in mind that a judge is a public servant, and as a public servant, he's making $168,000 a year plus benefits. That means he should be there working. Like the old days that I grew up in, sorry to say old days, I was at a senior citizens thing the other day, and I asked how old do you have to be to join, and they told me 55. I thought they were going to say 60, 65, and I told them I was 59. They told me I was an automatic member, but pardon me, I digress. I think we need to bring back the days of Gladden, of Gilmore, of Rogers, Terputic, Bell. I see him in the courtroom. These guys were up there every morning. Their courtrooms were open for motions court, and now it's only one day a week. I think, and what they say is, well, you should be lucky because some counties have 1 day a month. I don't think we need to be like them. They need to be like us. We need to be available and accessible to the public because we are the public's servant.
You know, I don't particularly think this is the proper forum to run down our court system. All of our judges have their shortcomings. They all have strengths, they all have weaknesses, just as we all do as lawyers. It's not about necessarily who has the overall best experience, necessarily. I think you need to look at a person's motivation for doing this, for wanting to do this job. That was a hard question for me to answer early on. Exactly why did I want to seek this office? This isn't something that I've wanted to do since the time I was a small boy or anything of that nature. It's something that I feel very much led to do and compelled to do after a lot of soul searching and praying. I'm not obsessed with the position that comes with respect to the authority and power that some people associate with someone being a judge. In fact, I see being a judge, a good judge, as someone who understands that a judge has very limited authority. Actually, I think it was Chief Justice Roberts that said that a good judge is someone who sees themselves as the umpire to make sure that everyone follows the same rules in the courtroom. I'll admit I'm not particularly happy with things that have occurred in political arenas in our county recently, but I'm not going to dwell on that tonight because I want you to know about me. In difficult times, and I would say these are difficult times in our Bar Association because we're all struggling with some of the decisions that have been made. Leaders have to step up. Leaders have to provide leadership for other lawyers and for our Bar Association. I have a very strong heart for children, as did Judge Mascara. I'm a father, and I care deeply for our community. And that, more than anything, I want to make sure to ensure a healthy court for the posterity of our county.